I started out by plotting my vertical measurements onto the pattern paper, and from each vertical measurement, I'm going to square a line across. I'm then going to label each line. I'm going to go 1.5 inches up from my bust, square a line, and label that my chest. From my center front, I'm going to measure half of my bust band and plot it on each line. And then I'm going to square a line up, and I'm going to extend that line past the chest line. I'm using my compass to create my radius. I'm going up 2 inches from my hip line and making a mark. I'm marking my 5/8 inch dart legs on either side of the apex. That's the waist, the under bust, and the chest, well, the radius. And I'm going to connect all the lines as shown. From the center front, I'm going to go out 1/2 inch on the chest line and place a mark. On the bust line, I'm going to go out 1/2 inch from the radius and place a mark, and then connect all markings as shown. To create the 2-part cup, you got to measure down 2 inches from the side, 2.5 from the apex, and 2 inches from the center front. Connect all markings to form the 2-part cup. From that 2-inch marking, square a line towards the center front. From that line, measure down 3/4 inch. Measure out 1/2 inch from the center front. I'm grabbing my styling ruler to create my new style line for my bra cup. Now I'll begin to plot my horizontal measurements, and be sure to add back what you're taking away from your darts. I forgot to do that, and I had to go back and add that, and you'll see that later on in the video. I then connect all my horizontal measurements to create my side. I am drafting the back as well, so I'm going to make sure I transfer all the important markings such as the chest, waist, hip, skirt length, and the apex and dart legs. I know you see the flare at the bottom of the skirt, but just disregard that and draft your skirt the regular way. Don't try to be extra like me. It was pointless, and you'll see me change it later on in the video. I'm darkening my lines on the back pattern piece. I'm cutting away the excess paper, and then I'm going to go in and lower the center back 1/2 inch. To create the bottom of the dress, I'm going to go down 1.5 inches from the waist and draw a line, and then I'm going to go out 1 inch from there and place a mark. And then at the bottom of the dart, I'm going to extend the line and then go out 1 inch from there. I'm then going to take my styling ruler to create the bottom of the dress. So I did line the front and back up together so I could transfer all the markings, but you see what I'm doing, right? You see the tracing paper and you see where I am, right? Oh, okay. Yeah. Now I have to fight to see the markings. I went back in and fixed the side of the dress. So before you cut out your pattern pieces, make sure you make a copy of this dress because I am making another dress tutorial that you don't want to miss. I'm going to go in and adjust my two-part bra cup, making sure that it's not pointy. Make sure it's smooth because we don't want a pointy boobie. And I'm going to make sure my notches line up before I move on. Okay, so you can stop right here if you want a corset, but I want to change the neckline and I want to add straps. So I am transferring the upper cup only and I am going to reshape the upper cup. I took the measurement of the bottom two pieces and multiplied it by 4 to get the width for my gathers. Mine was 52. You can use the width of your fabric, but my width was narrower, so I only use 52. I am creating 1-inch lines so I can do the slash and spread method. So now I'm going to get the midpoint, place a mark, and then square line up. I'm cutting into my 1-inch strips so I can plot them onto the paper. And I'm going to make sure that they are evenly distributed. I'm forming my new lines and I'm making sure I'm hitting the tip of every 1-inch strip. I'm going to add my seam allowance all along the pattern so I don't have to fuss with it on the fabric. I went back and adjusted my horizontal measurement, so please be sure you do it right the first time so you won't end up doing this. If you made it this far, gratitude. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for part 2 where I'll show you how to sew up the dress. Be sure to turn on your notifications so you can be notified when I upload.